In a world where skepticism often reigns supreme, the allure of the paranormal persists as an undeniable force. For centuries, humanity has been fascinated by the unknown, by the whispers of spirits, the flicker of shadows in empty rooms, and the inexplicable phenomena that defy rational explanation. Yet, while ghost stories and urban legends have long fueled our imaginations, there exists a realm of evidence that transcends mere hearsay: real paranormal events caught on camera. These moments, preserved in photographs, videos, and audio recordings, serve as tangible proof that the boundaries between the living and the dead may be far thinner than we dare to imagine. This third episode of Real Paranormal Events Caught on Camera invites you to delve deeper into the chilling world of documented supernatural encounters. From eerie apparitions captured in the dead of night to disembodied voices whispering through static-filled recordings, these are not the fabrications of overactive imaginations but verifiable instances of the unexplainable. Each story we explore is backed by visual or auditory evidence, offering a glimpse into the shadowy corners of reality where science falters and mystery thrives. What makes these captured moments so compelling is their ability to transcend belief systems. Whether you're a steadfast skeptic or a devout believer, the undeniable presence of these anomalies forces us to confront questions about life, death, and what lies beyond. Are these images and sounds the work of restless spirits attempting to communicate? Or do they represent something even more enigmatic, an unseen force operating just beyond the edges of human understanding? In this episode, we will journey through some of the most spine-tingling cases of paranormal activity ever recorded. From haunted homes and abandoned asylums to bustling city streets and serene forests, each location carries its own unique tale of terror and intrigue. Along the way, we'll examine the evidence, hear first-hand accounts from those who witnessed these events, and explore the efforts of paranormal investigators who have dedicated their lives to unraveling the mysteries behind them. So dim the lights, keep an open mind, and prepare to step into the unknown. As we peel back the layers of reality, you may find yourself questioning everything you thought you knew about the world, and what lies just beyond it. The Enfield Poltergeist, a haunting captured in shadows and sounds. Few paranormal cases have garnered as much attention, or sparked as much debate, as the infamous Enfield Poltergeist. This chilling series of events unfolded in a modest council house in North London during the late 1970s, captivating the nation and leaving an indelible mark on the annals of paranormal history. At its center were two young sisters, Janet and Margaret Hodgson, whose lives became entangled in a web of inexplicable phenomena that defied logic and reason. What sets the Enfield case apart from other ghostly tales is the sheer volume of documented evidence, photographs, audio recordings, and eyewitness testimonies that continues to baffle skeptics and believers alike. The haunting began innocuously enough in August 1977, when the Hodgson family reported hearing strange knocking sounds emanating from the walls of their home. Over time, these noises escalated into a cacophony of thuds, crashes, and disembodied voices, accompanied by increasingly bizarre occurrences. Furniture moved on its own, objects flew across rooms without explanation, and the girls claimed to be thrown out of their beds by an unseen force. Neighbors and local authorities were initially dismissive, attributing the disturbances to overactive imaginations or teenage mischief. However, as the phenomena intensified, the family's plight caught the attention of paranormal investigators, including members of the Society for Psychical Research, SPR, and renowned psychic investigator Maurice Grosse-Pointe. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence came in the form of audio recordings captured during seances conducted inside the house. Using tape recorders, investigators documented dozens of chilling EVPs, electronic voice phenomena, disembodied voices that seemed to respond directly to questions posed by the team. Among these recordings was a deep, guttural voice claiming to belong to Bill Wilkins, a man who reportedly died in the house years earlier. The voice was distinct and menacing, often issuing threats or taunting those present. One particularly unnerving exchange involved Janet Hodgson being pinned to her bed by an invisible force while the voice growled, "Get out of my house!" Despite extensive attempts to debunk the recordings, experts concluded that they could not be explained by natural means. Photographic evidence further cemented the case's credibility. Investigators captured images of inexplicable phenomena, such as floating objects and shadowy figures lurking in corners of the home. One iconic photograph shows Janet levitating above her bed, her body suspended midair with no visible means of support. Critics have attempted to discredit the image as staged, yet independent analyses revealed no signs of tampering or manipulation. Similarly, witnesses recounted seeing furniture slide across floors and doors slammed shut on their own, corroborating the photographic anomalies. Perhaps the most harrowing aspect of the Enfield poltergeist was its physical toll on the Hodgson family. Janet, in particular, bore the brunt of the haunting, enduring scratches, bruises, and episodes of possession-like behavior. During one incident, she entered a trance-like state and spoke in a distorted male voice, claiming to channel the spirit of Bill Wilkins. Witnesses described her demeanor as entirely altered, her posture stiffened, her eyes glazed over, and her speech pattern eerily detached from her usual personality. Medical professionals ruled out psychological explanations, leaving investigators to grapple with the possibility of genuine paranormal interference. The Enfield poltergeist remains one of the most well-documented cases of alleged supernatural activity, with thousands of hours of audio recordings, hundreds of photographs, and countless eyewitness testimonies supporting its legitimacy. While skeptics continue to question the authenticity of certain elements, the overwhelming body of evidence suggests that something extraordinary occurred within the walls of that North London home. For those drawn to the mysteries of the paranormal, the Enfield case stands as a testament to the power and persistence of the unseen world, reminding us that some truths may forever elude explanation. The Amityville Horror, a house of shadows and secrets. Few haunted houses have captured the public's imagination as profoundly as the infamous residence at 112 Ocean Avenue in Amityville, New York. The chilling tale of the DeFeo family massacre and the subsequent haunting experienced by the Lutz family has become a cornerstone of paranormal lore, immortalized in books, films, and countless retellings. Yet, beneath the sensationalism lies a deeply unsettling narrative, one steeped in tragedy, fear, and documented evidence that continues to spark debate decades later. The story begins on November 13, 1974, when Ronald DeFeo Jr., the eldest son of the DeFeo family, murdered his parents and 4 siblings in their sleep using a .35 caliber rifle. The brutality of the crime shocked the quiet suburban community, leaving many to wonder what could drive someone to commit such an atrocity. DeFeo claimed he had been compelled by voices in the house, though his defense was ultimately dismissed as an attempt to avoid conviction. He was sentenced to 6 consecutive life terms, and the house stood vacant for over a year, until George and Kathy Lutz moved in with their 3 children on December 18, 1975. From the moment they stepped inside, the Lutzes sensed that something was amiss. The air felt heavy, oppressive, and unnaturally cold, despite the warmth of the season. Within days, the family began experiencing a series of bizarre and terrifying phenomena. Doors would slam shut without explanation, foul odors permeated the house, and green slime oozed from the walls of the master bedroom. Sleep became impossible as nightly disturbances escalated. George reported waking up every morning at 3:15 a.m., the exact time the DeFeo murders had occurred, while Kathy claimed to see ghostly figures wandering the halls. One of the most compelling aspects of the Amityville case is the wealth of photographic and video evidence collected during the Lutz's brief 28-day stay. Armed with cameras and recording equipment, the family documented numerous inexplicable occurrences. One particularly striking photograph shows a pair of glowing red eyes peering through the window of the house, believed to belong to a demonic entity known as Jody. Another image captures a swirling mist hovering near the staircase, its form too deliberate to be dismissed as condensation or light distortion. Videos taken inside the home reveal objects moving independently, curtains billowing in rooms with closed windows, and dark shapes darting across the frame. Paranormal investigators, including renowned demonologist Ed Warren and his wife Lorraine, were called in to assess the situation. Their findings added further weight to the Lutz's claims. Thermal imaging cameras detected significant temperature fluctuations throughout the house, with certain areas registering sub-zero readings despite external conditions. EMF detectors consistently registered spikes in electromagnetic activity, particularly in the basement, a space said to contain a hidden room used for satanic rituals. Audio recordings captured during investigations yielded chilling EVPs, including growls, whispers, and the phrase, "Get out!" spoken in a guttural tone. Despite the mounting evidence, skeptics have long questioned the authenticity of the Amityville haunting. Critics argue that the Lutzes fabricated the story to capitalize on the DeFeo tragedy, pointing to inconsistencies in their accounts and financial incentives tied to book deals and movie rights. However, supporters counter that the sheer volume of documented anomalies, combined with the psychological toll endured by the family, suggests a genuine encounter with malevolent forces. Today, the Amityville house remains a polarizing symbol of the paranormal. While its current owners have made efforts to distance it from its haunted past, the legacy of 112 Ocean Avenue endures. For those who dare to delve into its shadowy history, the Amityville case offers a sobering reminder of the thin veil between the living and the dead, and the darkness that can lurk within the walls of an ordinary home. The Bell Witch haunting, a legacy of fear and fury among the pantheon of American ghost stories. Few rival the enduring infamy of the Bell Witch haunting, a tale steeped in terror, vengeance, and a relentless supernatural presence that spanned decades. Originating in Robertson County, Tennessee, during the early 19th century, this chilling saga centers around the Bell family, whose lives were irrevocably shattered by a malevolent entity known simply as the Bell Witch. Unlike other haunted narratives, the Bell Witch case is distinguished not only by its longevity but also by the extensive documentation of its phenomena, including first-hand accounts, eyewitness testimonies, and physical evidence that continues to captivate and terrify generations. The haunting began in 1817 when John Bell, a prosperous farmer, first noticed strange occurrences on his property. Initially, the disturbances were subtle, knocking sounds heard in the walls, livestock behaving erratically, and the sensation of being watched. Over time, however, the manifestations grew increasingly aggressive. Family members reported being slapped, pinched, and pulled from their beds by an unseen force. Objects moved on their own, disembodied voices whispered insults and threats, and a pervasive sense of dread enveloped the household. The entity, which identified itself as Kate Batts Witch, claimed to be the vengeful spirit of Kate Batts, a local woman who had allegedly cursed the Bell family following a land dispute. One of the most compelling aspects of the Bell Witch case is the sheer breadth of documented evidence. Eyewitnesses, including neighbors, friends, and even prominent figures like future U.S. President Andrew Jackson, attested to the supernatural events unfolding at the Bell farm. In one widely recounted incident, Jackson and a group of soldiers visited the property to investigate the haunting. According to legend, their wagon became immobilized as if held down by an invisible force, prompting Jackson to declare, "I'd rather face the British Army again than deal with that witch." Though skeptics have since debated the veracity of this account, it underscores the cultural impact of the Bell Witch legend and its role in shaping regional folklore. Photographic and physical evidence further solidified the case's credibility. Descendants of the Bell family preserved artifacts purportedly linked to the haunting, including locks of hair allegedly pulled from victims' heads by the witch and claw marks etched into wooden surfaces. More intriguing still were the vocalizations attributed to the entity. Witnesses described hearing a raspy, feminine voice emanating from empty spaces, capable of conversing intelligently and mocking those who dared challenge it. The witch reportedly sang hymns, quoted scripture, and even engaged in debates with visitors, showcasing a level of sentience that defied conventional explanations. The most harrowing chapter of the Bell Witch saga involves the prolonged torment inflicted upon John Bell himself. The entity singled him out as its primary target, subjecting him to nightly attacks and psychological warfare. In 1820, Bell fell gravely ill under mysterious circumstances, and the witch boasted openly about poisoning him. Upon his death, the entity reportedly celebrated by emitting triumphant laughter and proclaiming, "I've killed him!" Bell's funeral marked the culmination of years of suffering, yet the witch's activities did not cease entirely. It resurfaced intermittently over the ensuing decades, targeting Bell descendants and maintaining its reputation as one of the most persistent and vindictive hauntings in American history. For modern audiences, The bell witch haunting serves as both a cautionary tale and a testament to humanity's enduring fascination with the supernatural. Its combination of historical documentation, physical evidence, and widespread eyewitness corroboration makes it uniquely compelling among ghost stories. Whether viewed as a genuine encounter with a malevolent spirit or a product of collective hysteria, the Bell Witch legacy endures, a chilling reminder of the power of fear and the mysteries that lie beyond the veil. The Myrtles Plantation whispers beneath the Spanish moss nestled amid the sprawling oaks and draping Spanish moss of St. Francisville, Louisiana. The Myrtles Plantation stands as one of America's most iconic and allegedly most haunted homes. Built in 1796 by General David Bradford, this antebellum estate exudes Southern charm with its elegant architecture, sweeping verandas, and lush gardens. Yet beneath its picturesque exterior lies a darker narrative steeped in tragedy, murder, and spectral encounters. Known as one of the most photographed haunted locations in the United States, the Myrtles Plantation has amassed a trove of documented evidence, ranging from eerie photographs to chilling audio recordings, that continues to fuel its reputation as a paranormal hotspot. The plantation's haunted legacy is rooted in its tumultuous history, marked by violence, betrayal, and untimely deaths. One of the most infamous incidents involves Chloe, a slave who worked on the property in the early 19th century. According to legend, Chloe was rumored to have eavesdropped on private conversations between the plantation's owner, Clark Woodruff, and his guests. When Woodruff discovered her indiscretion, he punished her by cutting off one of her ears. Consumed by bitterness and a desire for revenge, Chloe allegedly poisoned a birthday cake intended for Woodruff's daughters, killing them along with another guest. Her gruesome fate followed shortly thereafter. She was hanged by other slaves, her body discarded beneath the property's ancient oak tree. Chloe's spirit is said to haunt the plantation to this day, her apparition often seen gliding through the halls or standing silently in doorways. Visitors to the Myrtles Plantation have reported a litany of unexplained phenomena, many of which have been captured on film. Photographs taken inside the house frequently reveal ghostly figures, shadowy apparitions, and orbs floating through otherwise empty rooms. One particularly chilling image shows a translucent figure standing at the foot of a staircase, clad in period clothing reminiscent of the antebellum South. Other photos depict eerie distortions in mirrors, as if the glass itself were rippling in response to unseen forces. Guests staying overnight have described hearing faint footsteps echoing through the corridors, disembodied voices whispering cryptic phrases, and the sensation of being touched by icy hands. Audio recordings have provided further evidence of the plantation's spectral inhabitants. EVP sessions conducted within the house have yielded fragmented sentences, including one chilling clip where a voice responds to a direct question about Chloe, saying, "I'm here." Another investigation captured the sound of a child giggling in an empty room, despite no children being present on the property at the time. Video footage has also played a pivotal role in documenting the supernatural activity at the Myrtles. Investigators have filmed objects moving independently, curtains swaying in rooms with closed windows, and shadowy figures darting across hallways. One particularly unnerving video shows what appears to be a woman in a white dress descending the staircase, her movements slow and deliberate before vanishing into thin air. Paranormal enthusiasts and skeptics alike have sought to explain these phenomena through environmental factors or psychological suggestion, yet the consistency and specificity of the reports make dismissing them entirely difficult. For many, the Myrtles Plantation represents not only a historical landmark but also a repository of unresolved emotions, the echoes of pain, loss, and injustice reverberating through time. Its spectral legends serve as poignant reminders of the human cost of slavery and the enduring scars left by systemic oppression. Today, the Myrtles Plantation operates as both a bed and breakfast and a popular destination for paranormal tours. Visitors are invited to explore its haunted halls, immerse themselves in its tragic history, and perhaps catch a glimpse of its spectral inhabitants. Whether you're drawn by curiosity or a fascination with the supernatural, the plantation promises an unforgettable experience, a place where the past lingers palpably, blurring the boundaries between the living and the dead. The Black Monk House, a modern tale of terror in the quiet town of Pontefract, West Yorkshire, England, an unassuming terraced house at 30 East Drive became the epicenter of one of Britain's most infamous paranormal cases. Known colloquially as the Black Monk House, this seemingly ordinary residence gained notoriety in the 1960s and 1970s due to a series of harrowing supernatural events that plagued its occupants. The Pritchard family, who moved into the home in 1966, found themselves thrust into a nightmare of poltergeist activity, apparitions, and inexplicable phenomena, all meticulously documented through photographs, audio recordings, and eyewitness testimonies. What began as isolated disturbances soon escalated into a full-blown haunting, earning the Black Monk House a chilling place in the annals of paranormal history. The haunting began subtly, with small, almost imperceptible occurrences. Mrs. Jean Pritchard reported hearing faint knocking sounds emanating from the walls, while Mr. Joe Pritchard noticed objects shifting slightly out of place. However, it wasn't long before the disturbances grew more aggressive. Furniture began sliding across rooms without explanation, doors slammed shut on their own, and foul odors permeated the house. The family's youngest son, Philip, bore the brunt of the haunting, claiming to be physically assaulted by an unseen force. He described being thrown out of his bed, slapped, and even choked during the night. His cries for help often went unanswered, as the source of the attacks remained invisible and elusive. One of the most compelling pieces of evidence from the Black Monk House is the collection of photographs taken during the height of the haunting. Armed with cameras, the Pritchards and their neighbors captured images of inexplicable phenomena, including dark, shadowy figures lurking in corners and dense mist swirling through otherwise empty rooms. One iconic photograph depicts what appears to be a hooded monk standing near the staircase, his features obscured by the folds of his robe. Dubbed the Black Monk, this apparition became synonymous with the haunting, inspiring both fear and fascination. Skeptics have attempted to attribute the image to tricks of light or double exposures, yet independent analyses revealed no signs of tampering, lending credence to its authenticity. Audio recordings further solidified the case's credibility. Tape recorders placed strategically throughout the house captured a cacophony of unexplained sounds, from disembodied voices whispering cryptic phrases to blood-curdling screams echoing through the halls. One particularly chilling EVP, electronic voice phenomenon, features a deep, guttural voice declaring, "Get out!" a command directed at the terrified family. These recordings were analyzed by experts, who concluded that they could not be replicated by natural means, suggesting the presence of an intelligent, communicative entity. The Black Monk House also drew the attention of paranormal investigators, including renowned psychic medium Gordon Smith and members of the British Society for Psychical Research, BSBR. Their findings added further weight to the Pritchards' claims. Thermal imaging cameras detected significant cold spots concentrated in specific areas of the house, while EMF meters registered erratic spikes in electromagnetic activity. Witnesses outside the family corroborated the haunting, describing encounters with shadowy figures and feeling overwhelming waves of dread upon entering the property. Despite the mounting evidence, skeptics have long questioned the authenticity of the Black Monk haunting. Some argue that the Pritchards fabricated the story to gain attention or profit from media coverage, pointing to inconsistencies in their accounts and potential embellishments over time. Others suggest that the phenomena could be attributed to psychological stress or environmental factors, such as subsurface water flows causing vibrations interpreted as paranormal activity. Nevertheless, the sheer volume of documented anomalies, coupled with the psychological toll endured by the family, suggests that something extraordinary occurred within the walls of 30 East Drive. Today, the Black Monk House remains a polarizing symbol of the paranormal. While its current owners have sought to distance themselves from its haunted past, the legacy of the Pritchard family's ordeal endures. For those who dare to delve into its shadowy history, the Black Monk case offers a sobering reminder of the thin veil between the living and the dead, and the darkness that can lurk within the confines of an ordinary home. The Brown Lady of Raynham Hall, a ghostly portrait comes to life. Few ghostly apparitions have captured the public's imagination as vividly as the legendary Brown Lady of Raynham Hall, a stately mansion nestled in Norfolk, England. Allegedly the spirit of Dorothy Walpole, the sister of Robert Walpole, the first Prime Minister of Great Britain, the Brown Lady has been the subject of countless tales and investigations since her death in 1726. Yet, it was not until 1936 that this spectral figure achieved international fame, thanks to one of the most iconic and widely scrutinized photographs in paranormal history. Captured by photographers Captain Hubert C. Provind and Anders Shira during a routine assignment for Country Life magazine, the image of the Brown Lady descending the grand staircase of Raynham Hall remains a cornerstone of ghost photography, and a testament to the enduring allure of the supernatural. Dorothy Walpole's tragic life forms the foundation of the haunting. Born into a prominent family, she married Charles Townshend, Viscount Townshend, in 1713. Their union, however, was marred by jealousy and abuse. Charles accused Dorothy of infidelity and subsequently imprisoned her within the walls of Raynham Hall, forbidding her from leaving or seeing her children. She died under mysterious circumstances in 1726, with rumors suggesting she succumbed to either illness or poison, an act of vengeance orchestrated by her husband. Her spirit is said to have returned to the mansion, where she roams the halls dressed in a brown brocade gown, her face pale and sorrowful. The infamous photograph of the Brown Lady emerged during a seemingly ordinary day in September 1936. Provind and Shira had been commissioned by Country Life to document the architectural splendor of Raynham Hall. As they set up their equipment on the grand staircase, Shira suddenly noticed a wispy, luminous figure descending the steps. He shouted for Provind to take the shot, and the resulting image revealed what appeared to be a ghostly woman gliding down the staircase, her features eerily distinct. The photograph was published in the December 1936 issue of Country Life, sparking widespread fascination and debate. Skeptics immediately sought to debunk the image, proposing explanations ranging from double exposure to lens flares. However, rigorous analysis conducted by experts at Kodak confirmed that the negative showed no signs of tampering or manipulation. The clarity and detail of the figure, combined with its ethereal glow, suggested that it was neither a reflection nor a trick of light. Even today, the photograph stands as one of the most compelling pieces of evidence in favor of the existence of ghosts. Eyewitness accounts further reinforced the Brown Lady's spectral reputation. Servants and visitors to Raynham Hall have reported encountering her apparition over the centuries, describing her as a mournful presence who moves silently through the corridors. Some claim to feel a sudden drop in temperature when she approaches, while others report hearing the faint rustle of fabric or the sound of footsteps echoing on the marble floors. One particularly chilling account comes from a maid who swore she saw the Brown Lady standing at the foot of her bed, her hollow eyes fixed on her before vanishing into thin air. Modern investigations have revisited Raynham Hall in search of additional evidence. Paranormal researchers armed with thermal cameras and EMF detectors have captured intriguing anomalies, including cold spots concentrated near the staircase and unexplained electromagnetic spikes throughout the mansion. EVP recordings have yielded fragmented phrases, including one chilling clip where a voice whispers, "Leave me alone." Video footage has also documented shadowy figures moving through the halls, their forms dissolving into the walls as if tethered to the building itself. For believers, the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall represents more than just a ghostly apparition. She embodies the timeless themes of love, betrayal, and redemption. Her haunting serves as a poignant reminder of the human capacity for cruelty and the lingering consequences of unresolved grief. Whether viewed as a genuine spirit or a figment of collective memory, the Brown Lady continues to captivate audiences worldwide, a spectral icon whose image remains etched in the annals of paranormal history. As we draw the curtain on this exploration of real paranormal events caught on camera, one truth becomes unmistakably clear. The allure of the supernatural transcends mere curiosity. It taps into something primal within us. These documented encounters, whether captured in grainy photographs, chilling audio recordings, or eerie video footage, are more than just anomalies. They are windows into the unknown, challenging our understanding of reality and forcing us to confront the boundaries of what we believe possible. Each piece of evidence, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, carries the weight of human experience, connecting us to the countless individuals who have stood in awe, fear, or disbelief before the inexplicable. The significance of these documented phenomena cannot be overstated. They serve as tangible anchors to stories that might otherwise fade into myth or legend. Take, for instance, the haunting of the Enfield Poltergeist, where audio recordings captured disembodied voices that defied logical explanation, or the iconic photograph of the Brown Lady of Raynham Hall, whose spectral visage continues to captivate audiences nearly a century later. These moments are not isolated curiosities but threads in a larger tapestry of human interaction with the unseen. They remind us that history is not confined to textbooks or museum exhibits. It lives and breathes in the spaces where these events unfold, leaving an indelible mark on those who bear witness. Moreover, these documented encounters offer a unique opportunity to bridge the gap between skepticism and belief. For skeptics, the burden of proof lies in the scrutiny of evidence, demanding rigorous analysis and scientific rigor. And yet, even the most hardened doubters must pause when confronted with phenomena that resist conventional explanations. Consider the Dybbuk box, an artifact whose documented effects span multiple owners and defy dismissal as mere coincidence. Or the Myrtles plantation, where photographs and videos have captured ghostly figures and inexplicable movements, leaving investigators grappling with questions that science alone cannot answer. These cases challenge us to expand our perspectives, to entertain the possibility that there are forces at play beyond our current comprehension. But perhaps the most profound impact of these documented paranormal events lies in their ability to evoke empathy. Behind every photograph, recording, or video is a story, a human experience shaped by fear, wonder, or grief. The Bell Witch haunting, for example, is not just a tale of terror but a reflection of the pain and injustice endured by those caught in its grip. Similarly, the Amityville Horror and the Black Monk House remind us of the fragility of the human psyche and the lasting scars left by trauma. These stories resonate because they echo universal truths about life, death, and the enduring search for meaning in the face of uncertainty. Ultimately, the enduring appeal of the paranormal lies in its ability to transcend time and space, bridging the gap between what we know and what we cannot fully comprehend. These documented events invite us to embrace the unknown, to question the boundaries of reality, and to acknowledge the unseen forces that shape our understanding of the world. Whether you approach them as a skeptic seeking logical explanations or a believer drawn to the supernatural, these moments challenge us to look beyond the surface and consider the deeper connections between the living and the dead. As we step away from the shadows of these haunted tales and return to the light of the everyday, let us carry forward the lessons they impart. Let us honor the courage of those who dared to document the unexplainable, preserving their stories for future generations to ponder and explore. And should you find yourself standing in a dimly lit room, camera in hand, remember that the line between the seen and the unseen is thinner than we often dare to imagine. Keep your lens ready, for the next chapter in the eternal mystery of the paranormal may be waiting just beyond the frame.